Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Maria. I am a stay-at-home mom of 4 kiddos, ages 13, 11, 9, and 6. And we are certainly in the thick of summertime. We are trying to keep busy, constant action, constant messes, constant things to do. But ain't that life? So I thought I would start off this video by doing something for me, which pretty much never happens, but I wanted to make myself a nice lunch this day. I wanted to try something that I've eaten out quite a bit over the past few months, which is this whole, and here I am coming late to the game again, because that's as I do, but this whole avocado toast thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I like an avocado. I like me some guacamole from time to time, but it's not particularly my favorite. And if you told me to have it on top of a piece of toast, I probably would have looked at you sideways. But obviously, it's been a popular thing for a long time now. And I've ordered it out a couple of times that I've been out for brunch. And it's delicious. So I thought to myself this day that I would try to take 10 minutes out of the kids' lunch routine to try to make myself something yummy, and that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just toasting up in olive oil some of the sourdough bread, which is just delicious on its own. I mean, how could it not be? It's bread. And squashed up a avocado there in that bowl, and it was a good avocado, because that's another thing. I never pick good avocados. I know that you're supposed to have just a little give to it, but usually when I do a pickup order, they never pick the right ones. But this one was ripe enough to be able to mash. I did use a potato masher to help me in that, but just added a little bit of lemon juice, some salt, some pepper, and I wanted to add some garlic flavor. So I'm just taking a clove of garlic, rubbing it on the bread, and then chopping it up and adding it to the avocado mixture. And I'm going to grate some egg because I just like the texture of it on here when it's grated like this, but I would love a poached egg. I just didn't want to take the extra time to poach an egg this day, but that would be super yummy too. So I was just grated the egg, had it up there, and this lemon herb aioli is like my new go-to topping for everything lately. It is really good. And it's creamy, and if you like lemon, it has such a like a little hint of lemon flavor. It's just really yummy. And this was a delicious lunch. Could be also a really delicious breakfast. And then we just moving on to things that I had to do. I just had some random cleaning to do around the house, random things to do that I've had been putting to the side and hadn't had a chance to get to yet. So that's what we're going to be focusing on the next few days. Just the cleaning up after summertime messes, because that's what summer is. I feel like I get 10 steps ahead and then I fall 20 steps behind because, the kids are always home. So there's always messes to be cleaned up after. We have lots of friends coming in and out the house, which is great, and everything I always want. I want all the kids here. So that's fine. I'm complaining without complaining. So we are just doing constantly the same things over and over again. Dishes, laundry, cooking, cleaning, wiping down, vacuuming. It's pretty much all those things, maybe not in that order, but over and over and over again. So we're just doing some of that right now, and then I am going to move right on to dinner, because that's the other thing about summertime is even though you're out and about and in and out all the time, you still got to eat. So we're going to do a really yummy, super yummy chicken dinner tonight. I'll make a list of everything I want to accomplish for the next day. And maybe if I get 20% of the list done, I feel like at least I've accomplished something. It's when they're home, it's just, that's it. That's the main focus. That's the main goal, is keeping them busy, keeping them happy. I mean, it is okay for them to be bored once in a while, right? I feel like sometimes kids don't know how to be bored anymore. They're just constantly entertained, constantly looking at something, constantly stimulated. So if there's a moment where they're just sitting with nothing to do, it's like they almost don't know what to do. They don't know. Then when I say they, I'm speaking of my own children. They don't even know how to just do nothing. Like just sit there. Just sit there in your thoughts for a few minutes and breathe, right? Like but then I'm telling, them this, and I really need to be telling myself this, because I don't know how to sit and I don't know how to relax. It's something I'm trying to teach myself, but it's difficult, especially if you're anything like me, an anxious person. It's just, I've constantly need to be exerting my energy, which makes me a hypocrite, because I'm telling my children that it's okay to do nothing. So most things I'm learning through life now is through my children and what I'm trying to teach them. I'm actually teaching myself in the process. So I don't know about you, if anyone else feels the same out there, but it's a tough balance of, and oh my goodness, I couldn't have planned that any better. I should have kept recording. My youngest just came in and literally said, "I'm bored." Meanwhile, they've been in the pool. They did go to 3 hours of camp this morning. We've done a lemonade stand. They've had friends over, and they're bored. So there you go. There you have it. Case in point. I can't make this stuff up sometimes. But now we have moved on to dinner time, and the recipe I'm making tonight is definitely a first for me. I've never made this particular type of lemon chicken before, but oh my gosh, it's delicious. My husband was all over it, loved it. My oldest loved it. It's really, really super yummy, and it takes a little bit of time, but it's not a difficult recipe to follow. Super easy. But these potatoes, I'm not really going by any recipe. I'm just going to throw them in the air fryer, and I just put olive oil, of course, lots of garlic, seasonings. I have some fresh thyme and oregano. I put some more garlic in the form of powder. I think I put a little bit of onion powder, salt, pepper, a little bit of parsley, and I'm going to throw those in my air fryer and let those work while I make the rest of the chicken. And I thought maybe I would do this as kind of like a cook with me, and I'm actually going to pull the recipe up in front of me for the chicken and kind of let you know what I'm doing as I do it. But like I said, those potatoes were not a recipe. I just kind of threw them all together and then popped them in the air fryer. And this recipe is called Lemon Chicken with the Best Lemon Butter Sauce, and it really is yummy. So I am putting 2 eggs. What else did I put in there? Garlic. I did some of my fresh herbs that I had, but you can use regular Italian seasoning, basil, oregano, whatever you have. Salt and pepper to the egg mixture. And then your breading mixture is just going to be Parmesan cheese and flour. And the recipe calls for, and of course I'll link it below, it's for about 1.5 pounds of chicken, which is 2 large chicken breasts. I used 2.5 large chicken breasts here, and they were pretty big. So I did have to add in a little more parm and flour, but this coating that the Parmesan and the flour gives, it's delicious. It is so, so, so good. I mean, how can it not be if it's coated in Parmesan cheese? But so you're just going to go ahead and coat all your chicken in the, just the Parmesan cheese and flour mixture. Just get it nice and patted. And I like to do this and then put mine in the refrigerator. Maybe even if it's just for 5 minutes, just until I got the egg mixture and stuff together. I just like to throw anything breaded, especially chicken, in the fridge before I go ahead and start frying it up. So I did that, and like I said, maybe it was 5 minutes. It's not necessary. The recipe doesn't call for it. It's just something I like to do. And I'm just using canola oil And I'm going to go ahead, and you want to basically fully cook through your chicken with this recipe. So yeah, you are looking for that golden brown yellow crust, but you do also want your chicken pretty much cooked through. At the end, you will put it back in with the sauce, but it's not really doing much cooking at that point. So you want to cook your chicken fully through. Then in the sauce pot, you want to put, let's see, it's 8 tablespoons of butter. Calls for unsalted. I never use unsalted. So, you do your preference. You're going to put in, the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of lemon juice and a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. I wanted enough sauce to kind of put over my potatoes, and I just like more sauce usually than what the recipe calls for. So I probably did about a little more than a 1/2 cup of each of the lemon juice and the chicken broth. And you want to add in some more of your minced garlic and some salt and pepper. And then you're just going to whisk this, and you're going to let it simmer. You're not looking for, this isn't a thick sauce. It doesn't need to thicken. It's not going to do any of that, but you just kind of want the flavors to come together. And then while that was simmering, I was just finishing frying up my cutlets here, and they are looking so delicious and yummy and golden and crispy. And almost had a casualty. And I was able to do 2 at a time. I know that you're supposed to cook with a little bit of space between, but they were frying up for me fine. So as I was doing that, I really try to clean as I go when I'm cooking dinner, especially with these types of meals where there's really no stop time, meaning like you're not putting something in the oven to cook and then you can clean. This is pretty much a hands-on dinner. So I like to try to get dishes in the dishwasher, countertops as clean as I can possibly get them while trying to usually deal with the kids and cook at the same time. So that's what I'm doing. And you'll see after dinner, I don't have too much left to clean up, but I just feel like when you're trying to keep with it, and like I said, it doesn't always go this way. A lot of times I have to stop for the kids, or I'm making a separate meal, or whatever the case may be. So we're just getting some dishes done and trying to keep the counter as clear as I possibly can as I go. And I've made so many variations of lemon chicken. I have a good slow cooker lemon chicken, but I have to say this is probably one of the best yet. This recipe really came out so good. And here I am. I believe I'm down to my last chicken cutlet at this point. And I had cut up a lemon. I kept half for the juice, and then half I kind of diced up, and I'm going to put in the sauce with the chicken. So now that the chicken is pretty much fully cooked through, crispy, I'm just putting it back into that same pan. I did wipe out any residual canola oil that was on the bottom. Putting in the same pan so we're not dirtying 2 different pans. That's not necessary. And now we're going to just put that lemon butter sauce right over the top. And I am going to throw in some of these diced up lemons, all of the diced up lemons, just to kind of cook down with the broth and just kind of have it simmer all together. Not long at all. I think I just had it go the amount of time that I needed for the potatoes to finish up, which wasn't long, maybe 5-6 minutes at most. And I had just chopped up some parsley that I'm just going to put on top for now. And it was wet, so it was super sticking to my hands as I was trying to do this. And waiting for the potatoes, I was just cleaning off the counter a little bit, doing all that. And then we're going to get the potatoes out. I'm going to make myself a really simple salad that just is a little bit of feta cheese on top with that aioli creamy sauce, dressing, whatever you want to use it for. And this dinner was so good. 10 out of 10. Are you a food mixer? I am. I don't mind having my salad right on my plate with my other food. I love when everything kind of melds together, and it is so good. I know a lot of people prefer like a salad bowl. It's probably how my husband prefers it, I'd have to say. But when I'm doing like just a salad as a vegetable for the night, I just like to have everything on my plate. And oh my gosh, this really was so good. You have to try it and let me know what you think, because it is so, so yummy. So now we're after dinner, and I'm making my husband's plate because normally, unfortunately, most nights he is not home from work yet to be able to sit down and have dinner. So I always make him a plate, and I pop it in the microwave until he gets home, and he's usually able to enjoy it then. And this is the aftermath of dinner, even with me, of the mess of dinner, making dinner, even with me trying to clean up as we go. And it's okay. It wasn't terrible. Just getting the dishes loaded up in the sink. And who are we kidding? It's still daylight, which 100% means there's going to be more dishes put back in the sink after dinner, without a doubt. So that's how it goes. And just usually I don't always wipe down my stove after dinner, but if I see that there's a major mess, I try to do that. And we had some cookies this night from all that dough I made a couple of days prior. And just like that, now we're on to the next day. 3 out of my 4 kids are going to a camp in the morning. So I have my oldest is home, but my 2 youngest go to a school kind of related extended program till 12 o'clock, and then my daughter is in a theater camp, and she goes there till about 1:30. So we have a bunch of in and out in the morning, and then I realized as I went to go put a new load of laundry in, that I never took this laundry out and put it in the dryer, and I can't even tell you how long it's been sitting in there. From the smell of it, it was probably for a few days. That's something that I really try to try to avoid, because now you're even more behind doing a load that you already washed. So that annoyed me a little bit, but it's okay. Put it on, put some new scent beads in there because we know that was a little stanky. And I had some really cute pencil teacher signs to make this morning. So I'm just going to go ahead, and this is me time. Anytime I'm doing anything crafty, this is like one of the best hobbies of mine that just really relaxes me, and it's something I love. Being creative, I love doing anything that involves crafting and like I said, being creative of any kind. So this is a little bit of me time this morning, and I was really enjoying it. And after I got done with that, I think I want to say I brushed my teeth, possibly washed my face, and we are back downstairs doing more laundry. There's always extra laundry in the summertime because the kids get splashed or wet or sweaty, and they have to change their wardrobes 10 times a day. So we are constantly changing the laundry in this house. But now I'm finally getting to something that's been sitting around for a while. I've been wanting to replace my slow cooker and my air fryer for quite a while now. They have served their time. My Temptations slow cooker that I got from QVC, oh my goodness, I don't even know, 10 plus years ago. It's still trucking. It still works. I am keeping it. It's always great to have another slow cooker, especially when you have parties and all that. But the air fryer I have, and I had mentioned before, it's just really big and takes up a lot of counter space, works great, just wasn't ideal for everyday situations, especially when I didn't want to leave it out on my countertop anymore. So I actually got a 40% off from Kohl's one day and decided to go on and see what I can do. And I happened to get this air fryer as well as a Ninja Foodie kind of slow cooker, but it does a lot of other things. Possible Cooker, here it is, Pro. I think I got like both of those things with the 40% off, with some other coupons I had and rewards and all that. Probably not even for the original price of one. So I was really happy to try these out. And I actually had asked my sister if she wanted my other air fryer, but ultimately I think I'm going to keep it. It's just I just have nowhere to put it. So I still have to figure out where my old air fryer is going to live. I tried in my pantry, like up top on the kind of on the shelf, but it's just so heavy and so big. So I'm going to see where I put that. But I'm excited to try this out. It does a lot of different things as well as make bread. So I'm super excited to try that out. So once I get a recipe going in there, I'm definitely going to fill you in and let you know what I think of it. And I was really happy that it fit right here in the old spot where I was keeping my Temptations slow cooker. And I recently cleared this out. I used to keep my pots and pans in here, but it just would never turn nicely. I'd always got caught with the handles of the pots and the lids falling out and everything. So this has been working out really well. I kind of have appliances and my strainers in there that I use daily. So that's been working out very well. And I was really happy that this Ninja Foodie slow cooker fit in there very, very nicely. So I'm just cutting down these brown boxes, and I'm going to keep the other boxes for now until I use the air fryer and the slow cooker, just to make sure that, I like the way they work and that they do work. And this was another necessity. I guess not necessity, but we've been having really bad fruit flies, like really bad. I don't even think they came from the fruit. I actually think they came, which is gross, but from the sinks upstairs. I don't know, but they've been really, really bad. So I know some friends of mine who have these things. I don't know if it's this particular brand, but it's these sticky plug-in things, and they give off that light that the bugs are attracted to. And I was just, I'm at the point where I'm not doing apple cider vinegar anymore. I've done the sticky tape and all that, and the flies are outrageous. The flies are crazy. So I was really excited to see how that would work out. So I was getting those plugged in, and they look pretty sleek. Obviously, you can see the light, but I wanted to keep this one up high in my kitchen right now, especially by my fruit, so that I can attract anything that may be lurking, because they've been everywhere and they've been driving us bonkers. So right now I'm just trying to find where I'm going to keep my old slow cooker, because like I said, I decided that I wanted to keep it, and I didn't want to really hide it away too far for when I needed it. So I couldn't do it above my refrigerator because I had some Christmas dishes in there that I'm not quite sure that I'm keeping, but I didn't feel like going down that road this day. So I'm just moving some stuff around in here. This is a lot of things that we don't use daily or even monthly. I think that's like a carver that we only take out for Thanksgiving, for the turkey. So I was happy after I wiped down in here that my slow cooker actually fit very nicely up here. And it's easy to get to, and it's not a heavy, clunky slow cooker, so it's easy to take up and down, and it fit perfect. So I was really happy with that. And then I remembered that at this point, I think that just said it was 11:30. If I don't fill up a water cup I will not drink water throughout the day. I will not stop to refill a glass cup. And I've been through many water bottles, many water bottles. And I have to say the Stanley's been worth the investment, because once I fill this up, I do drink from it all day long. And I'll bring it in the car with me. And it really has been worth its weight in gold, because I 100% drink more water when I remember to fill it up in the morning. And then I try to remember to take my vitamin. So that's just another little thing I like to do for myself in the morning. You know, it's the little things like staying hydrated. Not like that's a necessity for life or anything. But now I'm just in the backyard and I wanted to get my herb garden nice and watered. This has also been doing really well. The only thing I lost was my cilantro. For whatever reason, it just didn't root right and it never took. But everything else is doing really beautifully. The basil's looking really good, and I have a ton of chives, which I don't use enough of. Going to water my fern back here, which is also doing really good, even though we get full sun back here. We really didn't plant back here as much as we normally do. We usually do a lot around the pool yard and stuff like that. We just got such a late start to the pool this summer. We usually open in the spring. We really didn't open until almost June. And we were just so busy early on that just wasn't a priority. And at this point, I don't know that we're going to be doing any of that. But just giving my fern a nice water back there. And now I'm on to finally getting all of that laundry that I just washed put away. And typically for me, because I know everyone does it differently. Some people like to fold on their couch. Some people like to fold and separate, the kids' clothes into different baskets. I like to fold in my bedroom. And usually half the time I'll say I usually fold on my floor, because there's usually just so much. I'll fold 5, 6, 7, 8 loads of laundry at a time, especially when I get backed up. And it's just not able to fit all on my bed. But in an ideal situation like this one, where I thought I only had 2 or 3 loads of laundry to fold, but you'll see later on I actually had more. But what I do like to do is kind of try to make it enjoyable and put on a show that I'm not a big TV watcher. Not because I don't like to watch TV, just because I don't really make the time for it. So I like to put on a show, maybe catch up with some housewives, maybe put on a little bit of YouTube, just to kind of pass the time and make this tedious, chore seem to go a little bit faster. But I like to try to fold on the bed, and then it also forces me to make sure that I put everything away so that it doesn't sit. Because sometimes when I do it on the floor and I get distracted and I have to go do something else, I don't make it a priority to get back to it, because it's on the floor and it's not a big deal. And yes, the kids will trample over it and I'll have to refold it, but it's not the end of the world. But when it's on my bed, like I need to get into the bed at night. So that will force me to come back in and make sure that I finish putting anything away that I may not have gotten back to. But that's pretty much the method to my madness. I don't know if it's, the right way or the wrong way, or, but it works. It is what it is. It's something I have to do multiple times a day, every day. So I'm getting this load, at least at this point, put away. And what I try to do is I'll do my 2 youngest. I always put their stuff away, because it's just silly of me to ask them to do it, because I'll just be redoing it. But my 2 oldest, I will either have them come in my room and get their clothes, or if they happen to be, not home while I'm folding and all that, I will put it outside their door, and then they will go ahead and put it all away. And then another nemesis of mine is socks. And I'm going to tell you, I have the best tip ever for, pairing up your socks and putting them away and keeping all your sanity in the process. And I know this is going to really sound like mind-blowing information here, but for the past few weeks with the socks, I've actually just been leaving them in the basket. There it is. That's my secret. Don't fold the socks. Don't fold the socks. Don't put them together. Don't put them away. I'm half joking, but I have to say it probably wasn't out of me trying to be, reinvent the wheel here, but it was just my probably laziness at the time of just keeping all the socks in the basket and not getting to them. And I would just tell my kids, go in mommy's room, go in the basket, and get yourself socks. And I have to say, it was working out rather nicely. They would just come in, they would pair up their own socks, and they would be on their way. So I was like, maybe we're onto something here. But I did get a lot of newly cleaned socks. So I said, you know what, let me just dump them all here while I'm doing this and get them actually put away. So I have a basket that I'm getting out of right now, that I'm kind of taking socks out of, that I keep any ones that don't have a match, the ones that disappear, the ones that fall off the face of the planet. I will stick the one sock in there, and then if I happen to find any more or we have another load, I'll kind of go through and match up any ones that didn't have a pair prior. So that's been working out nicely too. But this is what I was talking about, where I thought I was finished with all the laundry, and then I remembered I had another load. I think I had another load in the wash and the dryer. So while I was on a roll, I stuck with my whole bed theory here, and I continued to fold on the bed. And I have to tell you, it worked. I got everything put away. I got the socks put away, and it felt really good until 10 minutes later when the hampers were all filled again. And to end this video, I had to show you this. This was only up there overnight. There wasn't even 24 hours. And look at then we had a beautiful bird and my little bird feeder there. But I could not believe all the fruit flies. And then this is the other one that I have by the laundry room door. Oh my gosh, it's actually really gross. So it works. It works, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you stay a while. Subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of video. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye, guys.